Alrighty. So I was initially just going to do this as a demonstration for a friend of mine, but I figure there's probably some folks out here that need not quite super baby level instructions on how Skullgirls, like the universal stuff in Skullgirls, but a step up. You know what a fighting game is, but you don't know Skullgirls. So I'm gonna start with the most universal stuff is all defensive. Uh, a lot of the offensive stuff is pretty character and team specific, but I'll do a basic touch on that later. So we're starting with the most basic thing, blocking. So, it's a 2D game. The standard mix-up is low, high, throw. Simple enough. Same with Skullgirls. I have the dummy set up to either do low low, low throw, or low overhead. And I'll just let it run through sequentially. I messed up the overhead, but I think that only works in the corner against her. But, no matter. Low, low. Low, throw. So, no surprise, you have to block highs, standing, lows, crouching. Throws, you either have to throw tech or jump out of. One of the things about Skullgirls is that if you try and up back when they are doing a low, you will get hit. Like, you will get stuck on the ground, put into effectively pre-block. The game will say you are trying to block high, you are not trying to jump, and you will get kicked in the shins. And let me demonstrate that. So here's the low-low sequence. Now I will try and up back after the first hit. I get hit. I cannot jump out of that. But let's say they're doing the throw instead. I jump right out. And let's say they're doing the overhead. So, in general, on defense, up backing is very rewarding because it covers 2 out of the 3 things your opponent can be doing to you. The downside is that they may have listened to Justin Wong and just gone low. So that's like the first layer of the defensive mind game. There is one other upside to up backing, and that's if they do a move that hits while you are low enough to the ground, you can kind of screw up the block stun on it, because the second that you touch the ground while you're blocking, you exit block stun. Let's see if I can... that hits a little too high up. I could demonstrate it with someone else, but I don't think you really need it. You just kind of need the knowledge that as soon as I touch the ground after blocking, I am out of block stun. So you can punish a lot of things that are normally really not punishable. So the next and probably most important thing in Skullgirls defense is push blocking. This is, if you've played pretty much any versus game, you've probably seen this before. So let me, oops. I will very quickly record a long block string. Assuming I can hit the buttons. Alright. So, I'm in jail for a long time. I forgot to block the overhead, but that's a long time that I am blocking. But I can push block. You push block, you get yourself out of danger, push them out of the way. You push a long ways away, so they can't really do a lot if you manage to get them out. But, and this is the big thing with Skullgirls, if you push block a move and then another attack connects, they will stop moving. Just like that. The attacks come out too quickly, so I never get to actually push them out of the way. And this is kind of where it can get risky, because when you push block, you stay in block stun until the animation ends. I will show you by I will push block and then I will let go of the stick. So I blocked until the push block ended. Let's do it again and then I'll slow it down during the push block so you can see it clearly. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Slow motion. Like until my arms retracted, I was blocking. So that is both a good and a bad thing. The good part of it is that there is a defensive trick called Absolute Guard. This doesn't come up that much, but it is a thing where if I push block during the animation, I switch my block from, like, if I'm stand blocking, I switch to crouch blocking, or vice versa. I will, for the duration of the push block, I will be considered both stand and crouch blocking. I mean, a push block isn't a super long time, but it makes some mix-ups, especially with assists, a lot less scary. The other thing that push block does, let me switch characters so that I have some better reversal options. So, when you push block, the second you leave push block animation, you are back to neutral. That's why when you saw me letting go of the stick, I got hit at the end of the push block. Normally, doesn't matter a whole lot. Like if they're doing a long sequence, if they're doing this to me, oops, too early. They're doing that to me. If I'm just holding back still, it doesn't matter. I will continue blocking. But it does mean you can do whatever you want. So, oops, I threw my chair. I need that. I also need to time it correctly. But you can do whatever you want during the at the end of the push block animation. So you can reversal like that. Like, that's a true block string. Like, it's a true block string with itself, but because I got that window open, I was able to reversal through it. And you can do whatever you want. You can throw, you can dash, you can jump. Pretty much anything. Let's see, what else is there to know about that? There's one other universal defensive option. Let me switch characters again. There is alpha counters. Again, something if you've played, well, alpha or any of the versus games, you are familiar with this. So, I block. I'm in block stun. I do quarter circle forward and whatever the tag that I'm trying to bring in, and they will come in and do whatever their assist was that you had them set to do. But, and this is a very big deal, you get additional invulnerability frames on alpha counters. 3 frames? That sounds right. Your opponent can react to the super flash of the alpha counter, but it gives you one more layer of defensive options to, well, defend yourself. Alright, what else do we want? Alright, and one last thing that happens on defense. We're gonna put her in the corner. So, Skullgirls has a burst mechanic. It does not work like Guilty Gear Burst. It is intended to stop infinites. So there are two things that causes it. Either, where's my drawing tool? Well, no matter. Alright, you can see my mouse. Underneath the life bar, there's this empty bar. If I do a combo, you'll see that green bar fill up. That is undizzy. If we want to use the Skullgirls specific term, it is drama. Once it's completely full, if I start a new chain, my opponent will be able to burst. Where is the drama button? There we go. Oops. 240. Each attack strength causes different amounts of undizzy, and the first string doesn't count against you. But, oops. Probably shouldn't do that because you can't burst out of throws. I apparently don't have the computer set to burst. Cool. Escape infinites, first hit. There we go. There we go. It knocks me away. Normally this would drain on Dizzy, but I have the computer set to be max on Dizzy. Now, there is one thing. Burst can be baited. So if I block it, it doesn't matter. Both of us are returned to a neutral state. But if it hits me, it knocks me away. If it whiffs completely, then you're in Frown Town. Let's see. Little lower. Since that whiffed, I get a full counter hit punish. Like, you saw the Undizzy drop heavily, because Undizzy does drop when you land a counter hit. It's what allows longer combos. There is one thing you can do out of a burst. I think I'm going to have to record the computer doing something to me, though. So let's just do, whoops. I don't know how to do a fast Undizzy combo with Eliza. Alright, let's just change characters.
Get ready.
Just a moment.
Alright, that'll work. So, there we go. So, when you burst, you can do the input for an alpha counter, and the alpha counter will come out. Gives you one more option on defense, and this also demonstrated the other way that Undizzy can happen. So, if I use the... So we'll do this short string again. Wait. I used Jump Light Punch twice there. In fact, let's make this extra easy to see. List.
It's too much.
Wait.
Is it frustrating?
It doesn't record that. Well, record it if I set to player 2? Yes, okay. So you'll see at the top.
Cheap shot.
Hold it!
The Dickens. Weird. Alright, whatever. We'll go back. Player 2. So you'll see I got my light punch, heavy punch, did the tier, and then I hit a second light punch, and that's what caused the burst there. Alright, so that's all of the like really basic
Hang on a sec.
defensive stuff. Let me pick some actual character synergy real quick so we can show
Parasol!
Egrets, get
a couple of different
Booyah!
offensive things.
We're gonna get you.
Alright, so I already shown real basic, high-low throw. High-low throw, that's your day one mix-up stuff.
immobilized.
Especially because this is a game where you can combo off throws pretty easily, even though I dropped it.
I've trained the best.
So, that's, you know, layer 1. Back to mid-screen so we can demonstrate. Alright, layer 2. This is where things can get kinda spooky. So, real common mix-up stuff is the crossover or cross under. Helps if I press the right buttons. Cross under, crossover.
Spiral flare.
And of course, you can add extra layers. Overhead,
Up you go.
air throw,
Just surrender. Immobilized.
ground throw, and so on and so forth. Simple enough.
Hang on a sec.
The one last, like, universal thing, because everybody has crossover, cross under, high-low throw, BS stuff that you can do. The one last thing is layering your offense, and this is generally done with your assists. So, I've got Hairball. That's a lot of block stun. So what if I do... What if I miss my button? Push too far. Put her in the corner, make this easy. I can't wave dash. So I'm going low. High. High, low. And you can kind of layer your offense more or less however you want through that. It depends on your assist, of course. Like, Hairball is a multi-hit long block stun thing, and you can use it to mess up push block timing, you can mess up reversal timing, and you can just hold somebody down forever. If you have something like a reversal, an uppercut, you don't have as long that you get to layer your mix up, but you can leave gaps that can bait them into pushing buttons, in which case it will just get hit by the uppercut. Lots of crap that you can do with that. It really just kind of depends on how you want to construct your team, and that will define how you will create your offense. And the one big benefit in setting up your team is that because you can choose, like, I can pick whatever button I want to be my assist. If I want an uppercut, I've got fiber upper. Oops. Let's say I wanted, like, I could take Wheel of Fortune for a lockdown assist. I could take, wait, that's overhead. I could take Cat Slide for my low. That's also a sweep. Hell, I could just do regular ass throw. It's kind of up to whatever you want, and that lets you be fairly creative with your team construction, because it means that basically everybody gives you something. Like Squiggly, I can do my choice of 2 lockdown assists, because she's got both Crouch Heavy Punch and Quarter Circle Forward Heavy Punch. Both of those are lockdown assists. They work in slightly different ways, but they're both there. I could take Silver Cord if I want to get a stagger in my combo. I could take Center Stage if I want to mess with the screen, which low-key is very powerful for the grapplers. You can catch people napping pretty easily. Hell, if I really wanted to, I could take Backdash. Oops.
Ready?
I can take Backdash. Or Forward Dash. You can do similarly done with Painwheel, where I could take Flight. And it does nothing, it just lets me enter flying. But it lets you be creative in how you want to construct your team. And I think that's about all the basics. Oh no, one other basic thing to cover. Let's take her and him. Alright, one more basic thing. So, armor in this game is generally pretty good. As you can see, I just got punched through. I hit him twice, and he just armored right through it. So what do you do to beat armor? You have 3 options. First, you can pour out enough hits that it breaks through the armor. I accidentally got a parry out of that. Alright, less hits of armor this time. So that traded, because I got out enough hits in time to trade. But, I mean, frankly, that's a not great way to do it. Much better is Sweep. Sweeps universally break armor in this game. Of course, if you mistime it, you still get punched in the face, but you can sweep it. You can also... mistimed it. Snap it. Snaps universally break armor. The last thing that universally breaks armor are grabs. This is a hit grab, but it counts. Again, universally breaks armor. In theory, I can just regular grab him. Let's see if I can get it out. Yep. And that's how you deal with armor in this game. Or, you know, you just avoid the move. Alright.